Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about 50 Cent and how he found himself involved in this Jeezy and Gucci Mane situation. Now, for those of you who don't know, Gucci Mane dropped a song called Rumors, and it had a video and it's featuring Lil Durk and all that, right? But there were bars or lines within his verse where he was taking jabs at Jeezy's dead homeboy, Pookie Loc. Well, at least it seemed like it if you listened to the lyrics and you wrote the lyrics out, and I did a whole video about it, right? Well, it seems like 50 Cent caught notice that Gucci Mane was taking jabs at Jeezy and decided to start doing some trolling of his own. Now, for those of you who don't know, Jeezy and 50 Cent, they've had their own little back and forth in the past. Like, they haven't seen eye to eye on certain things. 50 Cent is kind of taken over and built this whole empire of, I don't know what to call them or categorize them as, like late night crime dramas. Like, you know, he has his Power series, he's got the BMF series, and he's got a lot of different things that he's working with as far as the Power series goes as well, right? Well, at some point, him and Jeezy didn't see eye to eye because of the BMF thing. But man, you thought cooler heads had prevailed, but you know 50 Cent, he's not above trolling, and it looks like he's going at Jeezy. So we're going to play a clip where he's kind of taking jabs at him, but you can determine that for yourself. Now, before we get to the clips and read this story, man, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, man, let's talk about this 50 Cent drama with Jeezy, man. And it's really not much drama. It seems like 50 Cent is doing his good old trolling, man. We know 50 Cent, he loves to carry a grudge. I'll say that. Like, if you slight him one time, he's on your head top, man. And he's always going to pick fun at you on social media, man. It'll come out of nowhere. He's got millions of followers and subscribers on several different platforms, so it can make for a bad day for some people. But Jeezy seems to be turning a blind eye to most of this so far. Now, I'm going to be referencing a story from hiphopdx.com where they talk about this whole ordeal. Now, in the headline, it says this. It says 50 Cent trolls Jeezy with Gucci Mane goes to Pookie taunt. Now, for those of you who don't know, Pookie Loc was allegedly one of the people who ran up in Gucci Mane's crib back in 2005 in an attempted home robbery, where he lost his life because Gucci Mane fired at the intruders, right? Now, Jeezy has shouted out his homeboy Pookie Loc. There was another guy who came out and said something about it back in the day, you know, during the whole time when they were having this Gucci Mane versus Jeezy versus battle, and it was a topic of discussion, and it kind of went away until Gucci Mane brought it back with this rumor song. Now, the story starts off by saying this. It says Gucci Mane and Jeezy put their long-standing beef to bed during the iconic versus battle in November 2020. But perhaps Gucci fell into old habits when he threatened to reignite the feud on his new song Rumors. Released earlier this week, the Lil Durk assisted track finds the Brick Squad bully taunting Jeezy over his dead homie, Pookie Loc, who Gucci allegedly shot and killed in self-defense during a robbery attempt in 2005. Now, what's odd is I thought everything was cool after the versus battle. So when Gucci threw those lines in the song, it was a surprise. And people at first thought he was dissing Lil Durk for some reason. I don't know why that was going viral. So I jumped on it immediately and talked about the fact that he was obviously dissing Jeezy. Once I heard the lyrics, read the lyrics, heard the lyrics again, read the lyrics again, I was like, okay, he's dissing Jeezy, man. And it just seemed to come out of nowhere because Jeezy is off somewhere living his best life. I think he's married to the TV host Jenny Ma, and they had a kid recently and all that. So I don't know, man. I don't know where it came from, but obviously Gucci felt the need to get that off his chest, or maybe it's up forever with him and, you know, those people who attempted to rob his crib back in 2005, which is understandable. Now, they go on in this story to quote the lyrics. In the lyrics, it said, DA dropped my murder, didn't have evidence to prove it. I think my house is haunted. Yeah, by who? The ghost of Pookie, is what he rapped on the Tay Keith and DJ Meek produced record. Now, 50 Cent, who has previously traded shots with Jeezy and clearly enjoys stirring the pot between the Atlanta rappers, shared his reaction to Gucci Mane's lyrical taunt in an Instagram video posted on Wednesday, January 26th. So this story is basically saying in those lines that 50 Cent caught a wind of that and saw that Jeezy wasn't biting back. And you know 50 Cent is kind of an instigator sometimes, man. Or there's been times in the past where some would think he was instigating, but man, he doesn't. He likes the pettiness, man. He likes the combativeness of hip hop like we all do, man. That's why we gravitate to online sources to learn about what's going on between the rappers who are feuding or whatnot, right? And he'll jump in it and give his, his take. And the fact that him and Jeezy have had problems in the past, he dropped this video right here on his social media platform for all to see.
I like.
You know, Gucci never liked listening.
Gotti anyway for the bit.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's sad. I think my house is haunted. You about who the Gusta Pookie.
Now, as you heard in that video, 50 Cent was laughing, man, at the fact that Gucci Mane dissed Jeezy's homeboy, Pookie Loc, man. He was laughing at that whole line, man. So that goes to show he's not above the pettiness. He's still the 50 Cent that we know. Even though he's this cable media mogul now, man, he pretty much like over there doing humongous things over at Stars, man, with all his different shows and the BMF show. He makes really good shows, man. He produces really good shows. And he's kind of got that whole drug show, empire type thing, man, power type thing on lock, man. I don't think anybody else can match him right now as far as TV shows. And, that's his niche, right? That's his niche. And that was kind of the BMF show. I believe that was the spark of his situation between him and Jeezy. Now, him and Jeezy had a back and forth, I think, in 2020. It was around the BMF show time. And then, Jeezy said one thing, 50 said another. And you even had Freddie Gibbs jump into it, man. But it seems like 50 Cent is still upset about Jeezy coming at him. So he's definitely going to keep it out there, or keep putting it out there that, anytime he can to antagonize Jeezy. That's just how 50 Cent gets down. And with all the followers that he has and the big reach that he has, obviously, he wanted Jeezy to say something. But as of now, Jeezy hasn't replied to any of this. He hasn't said anything. He hasn't replied to the line from Gucci Mane. He hasn't replied to any of this. And you know how hip-hop is, man. If they see you ain't replying, it's not like people are going to back off and stop dissing you. You know what I'm saying? It's weird how it's like that, man. Like, it's like you could easily become a running joke in hip-hop. Like, people will use you as a joke if they can get away with it, man. So it's always better to come out and meet these things head to head. But, Jeezy might just be in a different space now. So I got to shoot him that, man. I got to shoot him that because he might be in a different space and he's trying not to even get involved in this, especially if he just had a kid and stuff, man. But, that's not going to stop cats from trying to antagonize him. So it is what it is. What do you guys think, man? Is 50 Cent wrong for trolling Jeezy? Or should Jeezy say something back, man? Or should he just let it go by and, hopefully nothing will catch on and people will stop dissing him eventually. You know what I mean? Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.